Good morning and welcome to our daily devotion. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about being in that dark place. The, that point of desperation when there is nothing but between you and God. And the scripture that I ran across is in Psalms. Now most of you know I've been going through a kind of a dark place this week, and this really helped me tremendously. The verse is Psalms 91, 1 through 4. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and your rampart. Now, is that not beautiful to know that God covers us with His wings every day? And, it gives me reassurance that the Lord is there with me no matter what. But I also ran across this story I would like to share with you. And it took place back in the Japanese occupants of the Philippines. And where they had mining going on and stuff. And so the Filipino people, in order to be able to drive or move around, they had to have an occupation sticker by Japan on the car. And there was only one man who had one of these stickers, and his name was Mr. Elgato. And he was allowed to enter the sensitive areas of the mines and stuff and to pass checkpoints with this sticker. But eventually, however, he was Filipino and he was arrested by the Japanese. And he was thrown into a prison there. And his wife worried so much about him because she knew that he would never ever be able to survive in one of those prisons because they didn't feed the prisoners. They didn't take care of them. And so she searched for him and searched and searched. And she prayed and asked God, God, please let me find my husband. And she did find him. And she began to bring him food that sustained him until he was released from prison. But the story really doesn't end there. Because what most people didn't know was that because Mr. Elgato had this sticker on the back on his car windshield, the Philippine guerrilla soldiers were looking for him, and they were going to kill him because they deemed him a traitor. And had he not been arrested, he would have been killed by the guerrilla soldiers. So for those 2 years they were looking for him, he was safe in a prison, so to speak, being protected. And sometimes we don't understand why God lets things happen. He doesn't cause bad things to happen to us, but He does allow them to happen. And sometimes they're for our own good, and we don't even know it. Mr. Elgato would not have survived had he not been arrested. And I'm sure being arrested was not a pleasant thing, and being in prison was not pleasant as well. But God allowed his wife to find him, and he was fed for 2 years while he was imprisoned. But during those 2 years, guerrilla soldiers were not able to find him, and eventually the conflict was solved, and Mr. Elgato was released from prison, and he was safe from being killed from the guerrilla soldiers, and free from the Japanese occupation. So my friends, we never know what God has up His sleeve. Sometimes in our deep, darkest hours we feel alone, but we have to remember that we really are never alone. God is there with us, covering and sheltering us with His wings. And sometimes in those really deep, dark places and the shadows of darkness, we really are worried and upset and scared and anxious. But sometimes those deep, dark places are the shadows from His wings protecting us. Thank you, my friends, for joining me with another daily devotion today. I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed weekend, and I will see you on Monday morning with another daily devotion. God bless.